So you're saying that that relationship is okay, but if I get back to the issue, winning 5 championships over the last 7 years, shouldn't you be given the opportunity to determine your own future with the organization?
Well, I think that Jerry Krause, having been here for 12 years, 14 years, this will be as the the head of the group. Has the loyalty factor from the owner. And I mean, that's where it stands. He's going to go with Jerry Krause's determination of what he wants to do and how he wants to rebuild this team. And, it's great that, I've had this opportunity for 9 years of head coaching, 11 years as an assistant here and the assistant coach and scout. And I think that, we really feel comfortable with this decision. I don't think of this as like a snub. I mean, sure, you'd like to have a lifetime contract with somebody, but it just doesn't work out that way, not in this business.
Jerry Krause has often said that coaches and players don't win titles. It's organizations that win championships. I mean, don't you find that a little bit insulting?
Well, taken out of context, I think it is. But, Jerry's one of those guys that, I think a couple years ago back when we won a championship and, maybe it was the 3rd championship that ESPN put out a book, 10 Steps to Winning a Championship by Jerry Krause. And, right up there was like, our weight and training instructor, Al Vermeil was a great guy. And the trade for Charles Oakley and, Tex Winter, our assistant coach. I mean, those are like the first 3 things out of Jerry's mouth. He always emphasizes the people that don't get recognition, and he wants people to have the recognition in the organization. And what they've done has really been great. He knows who wins championships, his players and his coaches, and he knows that we get a lot of praise. I think maybe, that might hurt a little bit, that we get all the praise and the general managers and the organization doesn't get a lot, or as much as they perhaps should. And so he is trying to extend that to the organization, and God bless him for his sympathy, but sometimes, he doesn't put it in words as well as I think he means.
But is this maybe about control? In other words, if Jerry Krause was not here next year or in Chicago, would that affect your decision to want to stay there?
Oh, definitely. I think there's no doubt about the fact that, you look back on the relationship that Jerry West and Pat Riley had with Los Angeles. I mean, those things, and that ended after about 9 years. Chuck Daly, McCloskey at Detroit, that was a great relationship, and both of them went on after about 9 years and went different directions. And I'm not saying that all marriages in this kind of a business, the general manager coach's business, has that lifespan. But it seems to me like that is, that's pretty much pushing the envelope. The coach wants certain things. He needs, he needs certain credibility. When he comes in, it's a different kind of a status, a different type of an issue, and as he gets control of the team starts to generate towards the coach. The players do. The allegiance, the controlling aspect of the team. And in reality, there's a big organization that's here. The Bulls are large. Jerry Krause has a large scouting staff. He's got overseas scouts. He's got domestic scouts. He's got player personnel, people that are working on, his side of the building. And they really have been looking forward to rebuilding this team. Maybe to a fault in a hurry, but they want to do what they think is the next step in rebuilding this team to provide Chicago with another team in the next decade, hopefully.
And it is rebuilding because Michael Jordan says he's not coming back if Phil Jackson is not back in Chicago. We'll talk about that. We're with the head coach of the Bulls. Nobody coached or reached 500 NBA coaching victories faster. He'll tell us what's going to take to win that 6th NBA championship. 682 games, the fastest to hit that mark, and congratulated by his former college coach at North Dakota, Bill Fitch. And we're up close. Phil joining us from Deerfield, Illinois. Michael Jordan said, Coach, that if you aren't in Chicago, he will retire. And then now that you said, hey, this is your last year, do you think he's going to stick to that position?
Well, in some ways, I hope not. I think that, Michael should determine whether his own career is over, regardless of whether mine is with the Bulls or not. And I think the Bulls would like to have him continue on if he feels like he wants to play. And at the level he's playing at, I'm sure most people in the media world and the NBA world would say that he's still playing at an MVP level, leading the league in scoring and, carrying us in a lot of nights when we need that extra effort that he can give or that extra help that he gives us. He should determine his own retirement time, but, Michael's the kind of guy that wants to do things his way, and he likes to have his way, and he's a willful guy. And, in some of the things he says is, I don't want to learn a new system. I don't want to have to re-educate players. These guys know how to play with me. We're playing well enough. He's got all the sympathetic things to go behind that to emphasize his point. But I think, you know, in reality, Michael is thinking about, you know, this is tough. This is a hard season, and whether he'd like to do it again or not. And I don't think he's determined that for himself, because I think if he really enjoys it, the end comes, and he says, I really want to do it, he'll find a way to make it work.